Hi everybody, welcome to our 75-minute power class tonight. We'll get started in just a minute or so. Please set yourself up with any props that you might need. And if you'd like to tune into some music, you can follow me on Spotify or play any music that you like. My Spotify account is Tamara YVR. So we'll get started in just about 1 minute. I'd like to start tonight's practice by finding an intention from these little intention setting cards. And we can use that as a platform for thinking about our practice maybe in a deeper way. And I want to remind everybody that I have started uploading my, especially my most recent classes to YouTube. So you can follow me on YouTube under my name, you'll find it, Tamara Maxim. And if you have any requests for special kinds of classes or formats that you'd like, please let me know and I'll try to accommodate. We'll keep teaching, and I'll keep teaching in this way on a daily basis as long as I can't be in the studio with all of you. So feel free to take advantage of those free yoga classes online. Okay. This is a perfect word for yoga practice. The intention word for today is mindfulness. To be mindful is to gain intense awareness of the present moment, sounds, sights, flavors, and scents, everything that is happening right now, what you are thinking, feeling, and doing in this instant. Your breath can bring you to this state. And I've said that many times, that it's our breath that tethers us back into this moment, that conscious deep breath. And also the conscious deep breath puts us in a state of relaxation. It signals the parasympathetic nervous system to start the relaxation process rather than the response to stress process. So I encourage you tonight to be mindful throughout your practice by focusing on your breath, and let the breath be the tether, the anchor back into each moment. Of course, Honey now wants to play with her ball, so we might be playing ball with the dog while teaching yoga and practicing yoga. So mindfulness, let me put this card up here. We'll start with that idea in mind, in a nice tall seat, and focusing on our breath. So let the breath become your focus point for your mindfulness in this practice. Hands can be at your heart center, they can be on your thighs. You're welcome to sit cross-legged, any position that feels good for you. If your eyes are closed, let your lids be soft. If your eyes are open, you can gaze softly past the tip of your nose. And maybe for the first time today, take a deep breath, as deep as you can for this first one this evening. Big sigh out your mouth, exhale. Wherever you are, bring even more mindfulness, more awareness to the breath. Tonight in our practice, we'll bring in the Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction of the throat that helps to create an ocean-like sound. And actually that sound is a really beautiful reminder of the moment to stay focused and present. So you can follow that sound in your mind. Find a personal intention for your practice today. Maybe it's mindfulness, I am mindful. Or maybe something else that speaks to you this evening. And find a collective intention, something for the greater good that you can work towards in your practice. And finally, dedicate your practice, if you like, out there in the world to whomever you like or wherever you like. Maybe it's a place, maybe it's a person, maybe it's a group of people. I know right now we're spending a lot of time and energy trying to thank so many people in our community, so maybe it's some of those people. And this week and next week, I have the experience of being in my school, teaching students who are children of essential workers in our community. And not only is that a great privilege and an honor, but I really have so much respect for the teachers that are out there who are providing online work for their students, and I'm helping the students access it. But wow, there's so many teachers out there right now working so hard to make sure that all of their students can access the curriculum. So tonight This one's for the teachers. Together we'll attune our voices to one sound of Om and dedicate that Om to your current dedication or anywhere that you like. A deep clearing breath in through your nose. Sigh out your mouth. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Another deep breath in. And a full breath out. Bringing your full awareness, your full mindful connection to your practice. Bring your mind towards your heart. Let yourself bow in humbly to the beautiful light of your bright, shining heart. And let your heart guide this practice tonight, remembering that you can always modify or add on in any way that you like. Listen in for that. Release your palms. They're at your heart. Blink your eyes open. Lift your gaze back to your center, maybe even the corners of your mouth. I'm so happy that you're here with me this evening or tuning in another time, so thank you. We'll come down onto our backs for a little bit of core work to make sure that our core is activated before we go into our practice. And lie down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze and rock side to side. And open up your arms in a cactus shape. And we're going to use our core to rock the knees side to side with just hovering above the mat. So inhale for center, strong belly. Exhale, twist to the right or left, doesn't really matter. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist, just to hover. Keep going. Inhale through center, belly strong. Exhale, draw the core in, hug the knees, hover. Inhale through center, and you can even take the gaze opposite of the knees if you like. A few more times each direction. Exhaling on the way down. Inhaling to pull the knees back up. Twisting the gaze if you like. One more time each way. Inhaling through center. Exhale to lower and hover, turn and look. Last time, inhale through center. Exhale to hover, turn and look. Inhale, come back through center. Reach your arms up, legs up to the sky, arms up to the sky. Lower your left foot down to the mat so your leg is extended and hovering. Bring your palms together. I really love this one. I've been doing it a lot. Inhale to lift your head, chest, and shoulders up. Exhale, twist to the right side. Keep your shoulders lifted. Inhale to lower all the way back down, but hover your arms. Exhale, come right through center. Point toward your left toes. Inhale as you lower, left leg lifts, right leg lowers. Exhale outside of your left leg. Inhale to hover arms. Exhale, bring it in. And now we'll switch and keep going side to side. Exhale, really pulling over to the right. Inhale to hover. Exhale, reaching forward through center. Belly is in. Switch your legs. Outside, inside, switch. Outside, inside, switch. Outside, inside, switch. Outside, inside, switch. Last round on each side, coming up here. Last one. Really good work. Stretch your legs away from your hands. Big inhale. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest and start to roll forward and back, forward and back. You can hug behind your knees if you like, or maybe do it without your hands. You can also roll to your side and push yourself up. We will make our way all the way up to standing. Use your hands if you need, or come all the way up, coming to the top of your mat. Find yourself in Tadasana, mountain pose. Your feet can be together, close together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart, or outer edges of your feet parallel, so you can step your feet slightly apart if you need. Face your palms forward, lift your chest. Guide the tailbone toward your heels. Let the collarbones broaden and your gaze is forward. Take an inhale breath, root down through your feet, reach your arms up, palms touch, just like we did. Arch back, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, soften your knees as you fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, look forward, flat back. Exhale, fold completely. Inhale to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe arch back. Exhale, fold all the way forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale to fold. One more time to rise up. Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutation. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise halfway, legs flat back. This time as you plant your palms, step your right and left foot back. Utthita Chaturanga Dandasana, high plank pose. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Lower your knees if you need to modify. Hug the belly button in, at the same time lower the hips down. So there's a little bit of a battle there of the hips pressing down and the belly in, and that's how you know you're activating Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, your two abdominal locks. See if you can rock more forward on the toes, keeping your gaze forward so your neck is long. Root through the finger pads. Keep lengthening the spine, press the backs of your kneecaps up. Take one more inhale, rock forward even more, dome the space between your shoulders as you press your palms down. On your exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes, fingertips out wide, elbows tip up, Viparita Bhujangasana. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders up. Exhale, take your right shoulder down to the mat, look over your left elbow. Inhale, back through center, lift head and chest up. Exhale, left shoulder down, look over your right. Inhale, back through center. Lift your heart, maybe your gaze. Exhale, fold all the way down. Slide your palms underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, engage your legs. Super slow motion. You can use your knees if you like. Go through Chaturanga halfway. Look at your arms. 90-degree angle. Draw the belly in. Take an inhale. Exhale, high plank position again. Take a breath in here. Exhale, shift the hips back and up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. For this first one here, pedal out your heels a few times, right and left, right and left. Waking up your ankles, your Achilles tendon, your hamstrings. Root through your finger pads and try to draw the eye of the elbows more toward each other, so your shoulders open. And find stillness for 2 deep breaths. Hips are lifting high. You can bend your knees if you like. Heels are pressing down toward the mat, not necessarily touching. One more deep inhale here, finding that Ujjayi breath. Exhale. On your inhale, come high on your toes. Bend your knees a lot. Look forward. Walk, step, or hop. Nice and light if you're hopping. You'll have that core strength. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Halfway lift, flat back. Uttanasana, fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Lengthen your tailbone. Palms touch. Arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Using the whole breath. Halfway lift. As you exhale, plunge your palms, left foot and right foot, step back. High plank pose again. Press into your finger pads, dome the shoulders. Take an inhale breath, rock forward. Exhale, this time you can lower halfway or all the way to your belly. Untuck your toes and either cobra if you're on your belly, or maybe you slide all the way up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Thighs are lifting, chest is lifting, arms are straight. Whichever back bend you take one more breath, press into your hands, lift your chest. Now follow me if you can. Untuck your toes. Come back to high plank. Either go straight to downward dog or one chaturanga, just halfway. Look at your arms, 90 degrees. Push back up. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. Let's open up the hips. Lift your right leg up. Stack your hip open. Press out through your heel. Bend your knee. And as you square both shoulders to the mat, lift your right knee higher. Take a breath in here, lift up, and then straighten out your leg and hip, lower your right leg down. Inhale, left leg lifts up, stack your hips, bend your knee, square both shoulders to the mat. See if you can lift your knee higher, open up that hip. Exhale here. Inhale, square your hip, lower your foot down. Take one more full round of breath here. Stay for your exhale. Come high on your toes, walk your feet in just a little bit closer. Take your toes together, sink your hips to your heels, and as you come up, press into your finger pads and see if you can get a little bit of a hop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over shoulders. Kick your bum with your heels. 3 hops. And then hop forward to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. We have 1 breath per movement for the next round. Surya Namaskar 8. Exhale, fold forward. Feel free to add in hopping back. Inhale, halfway. As you exhale, plant your hands. Walk, step, or hop back. See if you can go right to Chaturanga. Take your back bend. Cobra upward dog. You might be on your belly, no problem. High plank position, Chaturanga if you like. Or straight to downward dog. Deep inhale when you get there. Nice long exhale. Come high on your toes, bend your knees a lot. If you like, practice kicking your bum with your heels and then land your feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise all the way up. Take your breath right to the top. Arch back. Hands to heart center, stay standing. Samastitihi. Step your big toes together to touch. Heels slightly apart. Let's find Utkatasana, chair pose. So sit down low and meet the mat with your index fingers. So you have nice tight grip of the fingers. Pull yourself back like you could pull yourself all the way down onto your seat. And then from there, scoop the tailbone under. So hug your tailbone towards your heels. Draw the belly in. And then reach your arms up to the sky. Let your shoulders relax. Arms are extended. Gaze is forward. And now hug the outer thighs inward toward each other as you scoop your tailbone under and draw the kneecaps back. 3 more deep breaths here. So your core is already strong, already activated. Be mindful of the breath here. Stay focused rather than thinking about what might be coming or what's happening, sensation. Focus simply on the breath. 1 more inhale here. Go deeper on your exhale. 1 breath to lengthen the chest up. Exhale, lift your hips and fold. Good work, everybody. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, plant up. You can hop back or step back, lower to your knees if you need. Take your back bend. High plank Chaturanga, optional of course, but highly recommended. Downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. Now there'll be some options here. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Bring your right knee to your right upper arm. Pause here. Try Chaturanga arms and maybe straighten that right leg. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Exhale, cross your right knee to your left upper arm. Stay here. Or maybe try extending the leg, Chaturanga arms. So the beginning of Kundanyasana. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, knee to chest. Keep coming forward, rock forward. Step your right foot inside of your right thumb. Back heel spins down. Arms, Virabhadrasana 1. Hip distance between your heels. Outer right hip pulling back. Bend your front knee deeply. Take an inhale here, lengthen. See if you can sit lower. Exhale. Use your feet as an anchor. Inhale. Hands interlaced behind the back. Elbows can stay bent. Hands at the sacrum, or let the arms lay the earth, chest to the sky. Right hip back, left thigh forward, and as you exhale, bow. Baddha Virabhadrasana. Let the shoulder rest on your thigh, or slip down inside of your right calf. Chin toward your chest. Arms reaching up and over. Outer right thigh pulling back. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. 1 more inhale. Exhale. And now press into your back up. Reach to this big breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands down. Try to keep that right leg as you move through your vinyasa to Chaturanga or to the belly. Take your back bend. Come back to high plank. Do an extra Chaturanga if it feels good for you. Downward facing dog. Be mindful of your breath. If you lose your breath, lighten up the practice. Inhale. Options again. Left knee, left upper arm. Maybe chaturanga arms. Extend your toes out. Inhale, lift it all the way back up. Big strength to lift. Exhale, right upper arm, stay here. Or chaturanga arms, extend the leg. Push back up, inhale. Building that foundation for Kundalini B and A. Exhale, knee to chest. Keep coming forward, step through. Back heel spins down. Rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Outer left hip back. Right thigh forward as you deepen into that front knee. Arms are strong, but shoulders relaxed. Gaze is forward. Take one more inhale breath. Lengthen the front line of your body. As you pull your outer left hip back, bend deeper. Right thigh pushing forward. One more breath to reach up. Exhale, hands to the lower back. Find the opposite grip if you can. Opposite interlace and thumb on top. Keep your elbows bent, hands at your sacrum, or start to lengthen. As the knuckles pull down toward the earth, draw your shoulder blades together and lift your chest. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, bow forward, Baddha Virabhadrasana. Let the shoulder relax or slide down the inside of your left calf. Left outer hip pulling back, chin to the chest. Relax your neck. Create space in the shoulders. Reach your arms up and over your head. One more deep inhale. Stay for your exhale. A strong foundation. Pull yourself up, a mindful full breath right to the top. Exhale, plant your hands down, right heel lifts. Step back and lower. Keep your left leg lifted if you can. Move through your vinyasa with full attention and awareness in every moment. Deep breath in. Feel free to sigh or flutter out your lips. One more. Now come high on your toes again. Touch your big toes together. You can walk your feet in a little closer. We'll do 3 hops here. Either you can keep the legs together or bend your knees out wide and see if you can root through the finger pads and get a little spring in your step. Strong arms as you push into the earth and try to kick your bum, getting your heels over your shoulders 3 times. And the 4th hop, bring yourself forward to the top of your mat. Halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Setting up for Utkatasana again. Big toes touch, heels apart. Get your hips down, reach your arms up. Lengthen your chest forward and up. This time, hands come to heart center. Find a cobra here, so chest is lifting, shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right side and try to hook your left elbow over the right thigh. You can use your hand to pull the hip back and then tent your fingertips. Imagine you have that delicious cupcake in your hands. Well, don't squish the icing with your right hand. Let the left hand and right hand press into each other and twist a little deeper. The finger pads pressing, rest of your hand is tented open. Create some space here, opening in the chest. Maybe you extend your arms. If you have a arm balance here, a side crow or Kundalini A, you can go for it. Deep breath in, pull your left knee back. Deep breath out. Inhale back through center, stay in the chair. Hands to heart center, lean forward again. Cobra here, twist to the left. Use your left hand on your outer left thigh. Hold that cupcake in your hands. Press your top finger pads and bottom finger pads into each other to twist deeper. Get the hips low. Pull your right hip and right knee back. Stay here. Open your wings or float it out. Deep breath in. Exhale fully. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back through center, just a breath. Exhale, lift your hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant your palms. Walk, step, or hop back. Flow through. We'll meet in downward dog. Take that extra chaturanga if it feels good. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Right leg lifts to the sky, adding on here. Right knee, right upper arm, stay. Chaturanga elbows. Maybe extend your right toes out to the top right. Left leg lifts, Kundanyasana B. Inhale, sweep it all the way back. Cross to the left side. Chaturanga arms as you hook the knee above the left elbow. Maybe extend your toes and keep pulling yourself forward until that left leg lifts. Takes practice. Inhale, reach up. Knee to chest. Come forward a lot. Round the spine. Lift that knee higher. And step it through in the center of your thumbs. Back heel spin. Arch alignment. Windmill your arms up. Open up your chest. Take your drishti, your gaze, down your front fingertips. Stay connected to the breath. The anchor of this practice is your breath. It's the anchor into this moment. It's anchor into the depth of the practice. Right knee is tracking toward the baby toe, and if you can, create more space between your feet. Wiggle your front toes forward so you have the space to get the front thigh parallel. Being mindful that your head, heart, and hips are in the same line. Big inhale, go deeper, exhale. Viparita Virabhadrasana, right palm flips up, left hand lowers, keep bending the knee, reach up and pull it back. Feel free to stay if you have a binding practice. Hand behind the head, maybe left fingertips come to the outer right hip, or maybe your hands reach behind your heart. Wherever you are, bend deeply, lift your heart, lift your elbow. And exhale fully, go deeper, one more breath, inhale, exhale. Inhale through center, right forearm to right thigh, left fingertips reach up to the sky, Parsvakonasana. You're welcome to stay here, or maybe you take your fingertips to a block or to the mat inside of your right foot. Be light, lift up through your top hand, stay here, or sweep your top arm over your ear, pinky finger down, thumb up. Look underneath your arm. Stay here, or maybe you spiral that left hand behind, right arm under. You find half bind or full bind. Maybe you can grab your left wrist with your right fingertips. I know that took me a while to be able to get my wrist. Outer right hip pulling back, inner left thigh spiraling outward. Use your feet as the anchor. Connect it to your breath. Stay right here in this moment. Be mindful. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Gaze back down at the mat. Unwind yourself, warrior two. Keep your inner thighs strong. As you inhale, peel your back heel off the mat. Hands come down at the same time. Step back and lower all in one exhale. Keep inhaling as you lift your chest for your back bend. Exhale through chaturanga or right to downward dog. Breathe deeply in and breathe deeply out. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Left knee to left upper arm. Option here for Kundanyasana. Bend your elbows, extend your left toes. Lean forward, right leg lifts. Inhale, bring it back. Remembering this is a practice, so you get good by trying. Left knee to right upper arm. Stay here or hook the knee on the outer right elbow. Keep leaning forward. Extend your left toes. Right leg might lift. Inhale, come all the way up. A lot of face plants happen while you practice those poses, by the way. So don't be discouraged. Knee to chest. Keep coming forward. High in the back toes. That strong core right from the beginning of class. And step that left foot through. Back heel spins down, front heel to back arch alignment. You open yourself up. Virabhadrasana 2. Create a long stance here. Tendency to hinge forward. Keep your legs as that strong foundation and then pull your upper body back so you have this beautiful alignment. I like to think of my left side reaching into the future, my back side pulling into the past, and my head and heart are right here in this moment, in the present moment. Deep breath in, and a long breath out. There's nothing more mindful than connecting to the breath. Listen for your Ujjayi breath in and out. Left palm flips up, right hand down. Inhale, Viparita Virabhadrasana, exalted warrior. Stay here or find your variation. Maybe you capture your head with your hand. Maybe your left fingertips wrap around the outside of your left thigh, or maybe you find a bind with hands behind the heart. Wherever you are, bend your left knee more and turn your heart open. 2 deep breaths. And unwind yourself. Take an inhale here. Side angle pose, Parsvakonasana. You can start with left forearm on the thigh and get that extension through the chest and the right fingertips reaching straight up. Maybe you come a little lower, but without curling forward. If you find yourself curling forward, as in your right fingertips are not pointing straight up and your chest is aiming down toward the mat, come up higher. Use a block or come up onto your thigh. Stay right here. If your body allows, reach your right fingertips forward, pinky finger down, thumb up. Stay, or maybe go for a half bind, spiraling that right hand to your sacrum. Maybe left arm underneath you. Maybe you get a 3/4 bind or a full bind. Maybe you can wrap that right wrist with your left fingers. Hug your outer left hip under, your inner right thigh spiraling open, moving toward your back heel. Deep breath in, and a long breath out. One more. Listen for your breath. And gaze down. Unwind yourself. Stand all the way back up. Warrior 2. Hug your inner thighs. Peel your back heel off the mat. High crescent lunge. Reach up. Keep exhaling as you move through your vinyasa. Left leg lifted. Lower. Take your back bend. And make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now bend your right knee in toward your chest. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bend your left knee a lot, so you're making a figure 4 shape with your legs. Lift your left heel as you bend your knee and find a pigeon pose with your legs as you press your hands forward and down. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Let's release. Try the other side. Come onto your toes. Lift your left knee in toward your chest. Cross your left flexed ankle over your right thigh. Bend your knee. Stay in downward dog. Pull the hips back, but root your fingertips forward. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. One more. Release back to downward dog. Come behind your toes, bend your knees a lot. Make your way to the top of your mat. You can do a little handstand or hop all the way forward. Lengthen as you inhale. Fold in. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Reach your arms up to the sky. Full stretch. Hands to heart center again. This time we'll lean forward. As you exhale, bring your palms underneath your shoulders and spread your fingertips wide. Grip the mat with your finger pads. And now you're really trying to squish that icing, but there's a little tiny dome under the palm of your hands. Bend your elbows back just a little bit with your big toes touching. Open up your knees enough to connect with the upper arm. Get high on the toes. Draw the front body in, so you're doming the back and hollowing out the front body. Gaze forward. There's that doming in the upper spine. Lean forward into your fingertips and finger pads. And maybe through that leaning forward, like we were just doing for Kundalini, your toes will lift, maybe 1 foot at a time, maybe both feet. Try to straighten out your arms if you can, working for crane pose or staying in crow pose, elbows bent. Keep lifting, keep working the heels toward your bum. Hold here, draw in, round the spine for 3, for 2, and 1, and you can shoot back or step back, take a vinyasa. Meeting in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Right leg lifts to the sky. As you exhale, right knee to right upper arm. Feel free to go for Kundalini if you have it. Inhale, sweep it back up. This time a little different variation. Left knee, left upper arm. You can extend that right leg through and lift your left arm to the sky, fallen triangle, or hug the right femur into the hip socket. Wrap your left hand around your outer right foot. And as you pull your right foot toward the top right corner of your mat, look underneath your left arm. Press into your right hand. Keep lifting. And then release. Reach that leg up. Bring your knee to your chest. Try to kiss your knee, round the spine. Step all the way through center. Back heel spins down again. Warrior two, just for a breath. Inhale. Exhale. And now your front leg straightens. Heel toe your back foot in a step or two, a little shorter stance. Keep hinging forward over your front thigh. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Still hugging your outer right thigh under, inner left thigh open. Look up toward your top hand. Come up higher if you like. If you have big toe lock, you can go for that or put your hand onto a block. Inside or outside of your right foot, up to you. Find your variation. Welcome to stay or sweep your top arm over your head, pinky finger down, thumb up. Maybe gaze to your hand. Stay here or both hands reaching forward. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. One more like this. Inhale and exhale. Left hand to left hip. Soften into your right knee. Look forward of your right toes, more to the right. Your right fingertips might land there onto a block where they can float as your left leg lifts up. And be mindful of your leg. Where is it in space? Press out through your heel. Toes curl toward you. Turn your chest open. Feel free to stay here. Maybe extend your top arm up. Maybe even look for your fingertips. If you have Chapasana, maybe bend your top knee. You might have to bend your bottom knee to get it. Grab the outside edge of your foot in your hand and kick your foot up and back, keeping your chest open to the left. Ardha Chandrasana, Chapasana. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Beautiful work, everybody. Soften your right knee a lot. Bring both hands to the mat. Take your right thumb into your right hip crease to pull the right hip back and extend your left leg back, standing L-shaped pose. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bow in toward your right leg. Maybe wrap your right hand around your right calf as you pull up on it. The forehead comes toward your shin. Left leg lifts higher. Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana, standing splits. One more round of breath. See if you can lift that left leg higher. Keep pushing toward the ceiling. And soften your right knee. Bring your left knee in to meet it. Look forward. Start to lift your gaze as you rise up. Standing on your right foot. Left knee lifts. Take it out to the side. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Hands to your heart. That same shape that we just made in downward dog. Sit back and down. Half chair here, Ardha Utkatasana, or one-legged and standing pigeon. Deep breath in, long breath out. Feel free to stay here. Maybe you want to hook the elbows in front of the shin bone. Maybe you want to have a little balance, so you could come into Ekapada Galavasana. If you have dragonfly pose, out to the side. Demonstrate dragonfly. Palms facing the same direction as the top of your mat. Finding that balance. You can play for a couple moments here. Here's Ekapada Galavasana. Hands come down, lean forward more. Try not to get too scrunched up. Right leg lifts. Take a breath in here. And slowly we'll start to stand up. Bring that knee with you. Reach up to the sky. Beautiful. Let's stretch back and forward. Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3. Right hip pulling back, left thigh rolling down. Deep inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then step all the way back. Open up to the long edge of your mat. Let's turn to face this way. Toes are forward or slightly pigeon-toed. Feet are about as wide apart as your wrists. Hands interlaced behind your lower back again. Lengthen the knuckles toward your heels, toward the earth. Lift your chest toward the sky. Inhale. Soften your knees as you exhale. Bow forward. Variation Prasarita Padottanasana. Let your head be heavy here. Maybe nod yes and no a couple of times. Relax your chin to your chest and reach your arms more up and over toward the mat or the earth in front of you. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to release your hands. Come to a halfway lift. Turn your left toes out. Lift your right toes up and sit down into Skandasana. Take your left fingertips out to the left, little cupcake hand. Reach your right arm up. You can stay here or spiral that right hand around. Maybe you come for a bind, half bind, full bind. Maybe you can grab your right wrist with your left hand. Hug your heels toward each other to get a little bit more connection to Mula Bandha, that abdominal lock to keep you supported here. Lift your chest and maybe look over your right shoulder. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Inhale and exhale. We'll do the other side in the second set. Bring your hands back through center. Inhale. And as you exhale, turn your right toes to the front of your mat. Lower your back knee down. Slide it as far back as you can. As you inhale, find Anjaneyasana and cactus your arms. Tilt your elbows forward, fingertips back. Lift your heart to the sky as you bend deeply into that right knee. So lunge the hips forward. Maybe you bring your palms together. Maybe index finger pointing back, hands interlaced, Shiva Mudra. Maybe arch back even more. Maybe drop the head. Come all the way back up, reach to the sky. As you exhale, fingertips come down, straighten that front leg. Palms can be on blocks or underneath your shoulders to lengthen. Inhale, outer right hip pulls back. Try to keep your left hip over your knee. Exhale, fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Pull your right hip back. Feel free to stay here. If you'd like to keep it that flow of lifting and lengthening and then bowing in, you can. Or start to work that right heel more forward, left knee more back, working toward Ardha Hanuman or your Hanuman pose. Full splits, half splits. Outer right hip is always pulling back, left thigh rolling forward. Stay upright if you like. Keep your front foot active or bow in. And even in these moments of stillness, try to stay mindful and connected to the present. Focus on each breath. Can you still find that equanimous, deep Ujjayi breath? 3 more. Slide your palms back underneath your shoulders, lift your chest. Tuck your back toes if they're not already. Slide your left knee more forward, plant your right foot down. From here, plant into your palms, lift your back knee. Inhale, right leg lifts up to the sky. You can start to stack your hip, bend your knee, drop your foot to the left. Maybe turn your left fingertips out to the left. De-weight your right hand. Stay here if this is enough for you, or come into wild thing maybe. Right toes are pressing into the mat, right heel lifts. Outer blade of your left foot pressing down. This might be enough. Or step your feet parallel in hip distance and reach your right arm all the way back as you turn your left fingertips. Maybe you reach all the way to the mat, Urdhva Dhanurasana. One more breath. And press into that strong left hand. Flip yourself out of your pose, 3-legged dog. Take your vinyasa. Come through your back bend. Extra chaturanga if you like, feels good. Adho Mukha Svanasana, deep breath in and a long breath out. Just before we do the other side, walk your hands toward your feet. Lift up the soles of your feet one at a time. Slide your palms underneath. Your feet should be hip distance apart. Take an inhale to lengthen, flat back, straight arms. Exhale, fold into your thighs, forehead toward your shins. Keep pulling your chest toward your thighs. Let your forehead go toward the shins. Bend your elbows out. And if this feels good, you can stay or lift your left heel and wiggle your left toes across the seam of your wrist. Feels really good for the wrist to release. Same thing, other side. Lift your right heel. Wiggle your toes. Cross your wrist crease. Inhale, halfway lift. Release your feet. And your hands. Walk back to downward dog. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Step your right foot, left leg, step it back. Left leg lifts to the sky. Step your left foot through, left knee, left upper arm. I'm losing track of myself here. Take Kundanyasana if you have it. Left leg lifts up and back. I'm so excited for the next part. I'm already there. I have to stay mindful. Left knee to right upper arm. So stay here. You can go for Kundanyasana if you like, or fallen triangle. Extend that left leg through. Stay here or hug the femur into the hip socket. Grab that outer left foot with your right hand. Press into your left hand. Lift your hips and move your leg toward the top left corner of your mat. Deep inhale. Look under your arm. Exhale. Release all of it. Left leg lifts. And now we step through in the center. Back heel spins down. Rise up. I don't want to cheat you on that side. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Just one more here. Inhale. Exhale. And now straighten your front leg. Shorten your stance just a step or two for Trikonasana. Pull the left thigh into the hip socket. Hinge forward and then pivot those arms up and down like the hands of a clock. You're welcome to stay. If you have that big toe lock, you can go for it. Wrapping the peace fingers inside the big toe, cap it with your thumb, or fingertips on the inside or outside of your foot. Maybe use a block. You're welcome to stay here or sweep your top arm over your ear. Pinky finger down, thumb up, the same shape that we've taken a few times already today. Maybe stay or lift up a little bit and extend both arms forward. 2 deep breaths. Moving to Ardha Chandrasana, right hand to right hip. Soften that left knee. Look forward of your left toes, maybe slightly to the left, where you might place a block or your fingertips, or maybe you're working on floating the left hand. I've been trying to. Left leg is a little weaker than my right. Be mindful of that right leg. Lift it up. Press out through your heel. Toes curl toward you so you know where your foot is. Maybe you reach your right arm up. Be active through both feet, both legs. Stay here or soften maybe your left knee to bring your right heel toward your bum. You can use a block like I'm doing to make it more accessible, not necessarily easier. Open up your chest, kick that foot into your hand. Keep the heart rolling open, so not curling down. Maybe you float your left hand. Hold here. We'll release slowly. Soften your left knee a lot so you can get both hands down to the mat. Left thumb into your left hip crease to pull it back. Right thigh rolls down. Standing L shape. Inhale, lengthen. And now fold. Walk your hands toward your standing leg. You might want to wrap your left hand behind your left calf. And as you pull up, this gives you the space to let the head lower. Keep your chin toward your chest. Let the forehead come down. This gives you this pendulum action. Right leg will lift higher. Press up toward the ceiling with your right toes. Try to hug your outer right thigh inward so there's an inner rotation of the thigh. And slowly we'll start to release. Soften your left knee. Bring your right knee in to meet it. Look forward. Take your gaze with you. Stand up slowly, mindfully, every movement with full awareness, hands to your hips. Lift your right thigh until it's parallel. Open up your knee. Cross your ankle over your thigh. Same shape that we did in downward dog just earlier. Deep inhale. Start to sit down and find that standing pigeon and half chair pose, Ardha Utkatasana. You're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to go into some balancing, maybe elbows come in front of the shin bone. A little bit more space here. I'm going to hit my couch. You stay here. If you want to come to dragonfly, Parsva Dandasana, right elbow under the right foot. Hands come out to the side, parallel to the top of your mat. Lean forward a lot, and that leaning forward gives you the space to maybe float whatever is touching the mat. You can stay there and play, or Ekapada Galavasana, elbows in front of the shin, wrapping your toes around your bicep. Lean forward a lot again to get that space. Left leg lifting. Now super mindful, every micrometer that you stand up. Bring your knee with you. Arms reach up. Virabhadrasana 3 in that super slow motion you have on the phone. Go even slower, even better. Roll your outer right hip down. Press out through your right heel. Hold here. Steady. And then soften that front knee. Step all the way back. Open up to the long edge of the mat. Find the opposite grip for your hands. Opposite thumb on top again. Something that I find for my practice that brings in a lot of mindfulness is to always start with the awkward grip first. Then it's easy to remember the second grip. So whichever grip you have now, lengthen the knuckles maybe down, lengthen the arms, squeeze shoulder blades. It's okay if you need to keep the elbows bent. Lift your heart. Remember, outer edges of your feet are parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. And hinge forward. Let the head come down and the arms lift up. Variation here. Prasarita Padottanasana. Open up the shoulders. Maybe yes and no with the head. See if you can reach those knuckles up and over you all the way to the floor or the mat. Your inhale, release your hands, halfway lift. And this time we'll bend into the right knee. So turn your right toes out to the right corner of your mat. Bend your knee deeply. Lift your left toes up as you press your left heel out, Skandasana. Right hand out to the right. Left arm up, stay, or spiral it around. Maybe you can find a half bind or full bind. Maybe you can wrap your left wrist with your right fingertips. I find it really helpful here to hug my heels toward each other, and right away this engages the inner thighs and Mula Bandha. So you have a lot of strong foundation here. And this gives you the opportunity to twist open and find that stability. Deep breath in and a long breath out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. We'll release. Hands to the center. Inhale. And turn yourself to the front of the mat. This time right knee lowers down. Slide your right knee as far back as you can get it. And when you're ready, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Welcome to stay here. Cactus the arms. Start to lift the center of your heart up. So rather than thinking of a back bend, think of a heart opener. Let your heart be very forward in this posture. You can stay here or clasp the hands together. Index finger pointing up and back, Shiva Mudra. Stay here or really start to arch back. Maybe even the head goes back. Keep the front knee bending. Hard to talk. Rise all the way back up. Reach to the sky. Hands come down. Straighten your front leg. Pull the hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. Now wiggle your left heel a little bit more forward to ensure that your right knee is directly under the hip so you're not sitting back onto the heel. I see that a lot in practice. Lengthen your chest, inhale. Exhale to bow. Maybe one more time like that. Inhale, lengthen. Left heel pushing forward, toes curling back as you exhale. And feel free to stay here, Ardha Hanumanasana, or working your left heel more forward, right knee more back, working toward Hanumanasana, full splits. But keep the alignment of your hips here paramount. Be very mindful of that your left hip is pulling back, right thigh is, especially your outer right thigh, is rolling down. You're welcome to stay in this upright position. You might have blocks. You might have a block under your front thigh or your hands, or maybe you bow forward. Taking a few deep breaths. Focus on every inhale, every exhale. Staying very present. Last full round of breath. Your hands will walk back under the shoulders. You'll tuck your back toe, slide that right knee in till you can plant your left foot down. Palms under the shoulders, lift your back knee up. On your inhale breath, sweep your left leg back and up again. Stack your hip, bend the knee. Stay right here or turn your right fingertips out to the right slightly. De-weight your left hand, so a little cupcake with your left hand. Stay, or slowly start to flip over, coming high onto your left toes. Left heel is lifting, outer blade of your right foot pressing down, wild thing. Stay right here, or step your feet to parallel. You may have already done it because I teach this a lot. And work your left hand all the way down to the mat until you can turn both of your hands around, Urdhva Dhanurasana. This comes in phases and stages, so don't be discouraged if you don't have it today. You might end up on your seat. Deep breath in and a long breath out. And now press into that right hand. Super strong. Spin yourself around. Three-legged dog. And take your vinyasa all the way forward and up. And all the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. And slowly start to walk your hands again back to your feet, hip distance. Bend your knees as much as you need to grab your big toes with your peace fingers, Padangusthasana grip. Cap it off with your thumb. On your inhale, lengthen, straight arms, straight legs, long chest. Elbows bend, forehead to shins, bow. Keep pulling up on your toes as you press the big toe mound down. See if you can bow deeper for 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Inhale to lengthen. Release your hands. Walk your hands back to downward dog. Come high on your toes. Step your big toes together to touch. Look forward to the top of your mat. We're going to walk or hop our feet to the outside of our hands. Coming into Malasana, little squat pose. You can stay right here. You're always welcome to come to your seat as well. Press the heel of your hands down and lift your chest. You're welcome to stay here, or we'll try either crow pose or one-legged crow pose. So spread your fingertips wide, step your big toes together to touch. You can always step up onto a block. Crow pose we've already done. Elbows will bend back. Knees will press just around the top of the triceps, that little shelf, and lean forward. So you can play with that for a few breaths. If you want to take one-legged crow pose, take your right knee to your right upper arm and plug into both hands. Hug your belly in strong. Lean forward and just enough to float those left toes. Try that. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. And come all the way back down. If you have the leg extension, go for it. No worries. That's awesome. If you don't have it yet, maybe your toes are still on the ground. It's totally fine. Let's try the other side. So crow pose or one-legged crow. Left knee to left upper arm. Hug it in nice and tight there. Hug the elbows in toward each other. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Lean forward and maybe you can float your right leg up or right foot up. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way back down. Amazing. You can do a crow pose to get yourself back through the vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. If you want to hop back or step back again, you can. You ready? Don't forget the extra chaturanga. I'm talking to you. Deep inhale and a long exhale. Okay, last little fun flow here. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bring your right foot all the way forward. Warrior 2. Floating half moon pose. Left hand to left hip, right fingertips reach forward. Step onto your right leg. Lift that left leg up. Find your variation. Maybe go for Chakasana. Soften your right knee, hands come down. Left knee comes in toward the right. Stand all the way up. Reach your arms to the sky. Sit down into your half chair pose, Ardha Utkatasana, hands to heart center. Okay. Take a float if you like. You can work for Ekapada Galavasana or Dragonfly. And second set here for some of you. Maybe go for both. To the side, lots of hand balancing today. All right, coming back to this half chair pose. Padangustasana grip. Hold on to your left big toe with your peace fingers and your thumb. Right hand to your right hip. Stand up. Open it up. Stand tall. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. Beautiful transition. To stand all the way up. Look over your right arm. Take a breath in and a breath out. And now from here, see if you can lean forward, holding on to your toes. Very tricky transition. Lean forward for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back up and reach your arms to the sky. Transition through warrior 3. And step back, warrior 2. You've got it. Vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Left leg lifts to the sky. Big inhale. Step it through, warrior 2. And floating into Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand to right hip. Soften your left knee. Step forward. Might take a step or two. Try to float it out if you can. Strong leg. We've been here before. Shavasana if you haven't. Adding in those extra challenging variations. Hands to the mat. Left hip pulls back. Knees meet. Stand all the way up. Reach up. Cross your right ankle over your thigh. Sit down. Ardha Utkatasana. Play for a moment with either Ekapada Galavasana, flying pigeon, or dragonfly. It's good to practice these poses more than once in a class. Always seem to go a little deeper on the second set. I know my friend Jody, she always say, what's better than the first set? The second set, of course. Some magic that happens there. Okay, right hand, right peace fingers to your right big toe. Stand all the way up. Bring that leg with you, arm up. Inhale. Exhale, leg to the right, arm to the left. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. You're welcome to stay here. Maybe look to the left for a couple of breaths. If you're not able to extend the leg, you can always hold on to the knee. Should have said that on the other side. Come back through center. Stay tall even if you have your knee bent. Hinge forward. Try to hold on to it. To really kick out and reach up for 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Woo. Warrior 3. Making me breathe hard. This is good. Virabhadrasana 2, you might need to adjust your stance. And your last and final, vinyasa. You can do it. Stay with it. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a long breath out. And now come high on your toes. Bend your knees a lot. Look forward to the top of your mat. Try to keep your legs straight once they're in the air, and slide all the way through onto your bum with your feet extended far forward. So if you can jump all the way through to your seat with straight legs, maybe even come halfway back on your mat. You can watch me if you like. And use that strong core to land on your bum. So if you didn't nail it the first time, try again and again and again. Like, watch this video later and pause it 5 times right here and keep going. You know, if you come to my classes regularly, that I really love to teach that. All right, let's take a breather here. Seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You really did amazing work just now. And to release your wrists, press the tops of your hands down. You can use blocks beside you if you like. Lift your chest and try to press the backs of your hands down into the mat, right to the edge of your wrist creases. And then you can flip your hands around, so the inner edge of your wrist forward. And give your wrist a good flick out, a good shake. And then up to the sky, inhale. Hinge forward as you exhale, Paschimottanasana. Another nice wrist release, if you have it, you can bend your knees to get it, is get one of your palms, back of your hand underneath your feet. Wrap your other fingers around that wrist. Try to straighten your legs the best you can and pull that wrist so you get a little bit of traction there. And pull your arm away from the grip of your hand. You'll feel a release of your wrist bones. You can switch your grip. Again, bend your knees if you need to get that wrist underneath your feet. Try to have your wrist as straight as you can and pull your arm away from your wrist. Release one more breath, halfway lift, fold for the exhale. Now release all the way up. Slide your bum toward the front of your mat. Plant your feet down nice and flat. We'll come down onto our back for a few back bends. We'll do 3. You have the option to take a supported back bend with a block or bolster or any kind of support underneath your spine. Little bridge pose, Satubandha Sarvangasana or Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. Inhale, reach up. Last bit of core work to slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Walk your heels in close to your bum. Bring your arms beside your body, palms down. And this will be the setup for little bridge pose, Satubandha Sarvangasana. If you would like to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana, press your palms up like you're holding up the ceiling. Bend your elbows and bring your hands beside your ears, your elbows pointing up. From either variation, start to lift the hips up. And if you're in the little bridge pose, you can interlace your hands under your lower back if you like we did for the wide-legged fold. Knuckles toward your heels, squeeze your shoulder blades. For Urdhva Dhanurasana, press into your hands, lift up onto the crown of your head, and then maybe widen your hands if you need, and press all the way up, trying to straighten your arms and your legs at the same time. Take your gaze toward your heels. Try to take 3 more deep breaths. When you're ready to come down, if you're in little bridge pose, release your hands. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, come slowly down onto the crown, come down through little bridge pose. Take the soles of your feet together, knees out wide, and if you want another wrist release, slide your hands underneath your bum. Or you can put one hand on your heart and one on your belly to feel yourself present in this moment with your breath. Big inhale, sigh out your mouth. One more inhale, and sigh out your mouth. Let's set up for a second back bend. So either of the variations, supported bridge, little bridge, or Urdhva Dhanurasana. So hands can come beside your ears or hands beside you. When you're ready, lift your hips. If you're interlacing your hands under your lower back, try to take the opposite grip. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest. For Urdhva Dhanurasana, press into your hands, come to the crown of your head. And then lift up when you're ready. Try to straighten your arms and legs. If you want a deeper variation for both of these back bends, step your right foot more to the center. Bring your left knee in toward your chest, so you can do this from little bridge. And extend your left heel up to the sky. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Same thing other side. Left foot more to the center. Right knee into the chest. Press up. Straighten your legs and arms if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Deep breath in. Long breath out. When you're ready to release, slowly come down. Release your hands if you're in little bridge. Come onto the crown if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Place your hands under your sacrum if you like. This time feet wide, knees together. If your hands are on your torso, take a breath in, into your hands. Everyone sigh out your mouth. Again, inhale. And exhale. Last back bend here. Again, walking your feet underneath your knees. You're welcome to stay in little bridge pose, supported bridge, or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Maybe this is your first one for tonight. So come onto the crown of your head first. Everyone lift your hips. Interlace your hands or push up to the crown. And then come all the way up. And we'll hold in this back bend for 8 breaths if you can. So try to stay with it. Count your breath. Try not to let the knees open. Keep them hugging in. About halfway there. Lift up a little higher. Last 2 breaths. When you're ready to come down, do it slow, crown of the head down if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, feet together, knees out wide. Either hands underneath you or one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Take a deep breath in. Remind yourself that you're here in this moment. Last deep breath here. Use your hands to close your knees together. And we'll come into a twist from here. If you have a favorite twist, you're welcome to take it. Otherwise, we'll start like we began without holding the knees to hover. So jog your hips a little bit to the left side and let your knees come to the right. Place your right hand on top. Look over your left shoulder. Take a breath in here. And a breath out. Another breath in. And a breath out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Now bring your gaze back through center. Press down into your hands to lift your knees back up using your core. Jog your hips a little bit to the right side, the left. Place your left hand on top. The right arm can be a cactus or straight arm. 3 deep breaths. And The gaze slowly comes back through center. Plant your hands down, lift your knees back up into your chest. Squeeze your knees into your chest, and either you can roll side to side or forward and back and come all the way up to your seat. And from here, we did lots of hip opening today, lots of hip work. So we'll take a long extended hip opener. So you have some options here. And I'm going to get teased for this because it's my least favorite pose, but I tried to do it. I really tried to do it. Is frog pose, Mandukasana. That's the one I did recommend. And my mat's kind of funny, but imagine this is your mat here. You're going to face the side of your mat and roll it up so it has some soft padding. So if frog pose is not an option for you, you're welcome to take pigeon pose. So pigeon pose would be one shin forward, the other leg back, or double pigeon if you know it, or fire log pose. Otherwise, we're going to hold here in frog pose. I'm sure one of my teacher friends would be really proud of me for even trying this pose, never mind teaching it. This is my no pose. So I'm doing it because I know it's good for me. So I'm with you if you feel the same way. Feel free to comment. Try to open up your knees as wide as you can. Flex your feet. So your heels are pressing back. Your toes are out to the side. You might have to stay up here. This might be it for you. Or maybe you can lower down onto your forearms. If you need, you can always take a half frog pose, which would be to extend one leg straight and just one knee is bent. So feel free if that's where you need to be today. I'd get in trouble if I did that. So the other thing is, we'll try to come forward to get out of the sensation of it. Push your hips back and keep moving your knees as far away from each other as you can. Try not to lean forward. If anything, push your hips back. We'll be holding here for a couple of minutes, so relax. Let your head relax. Stay focused on your breath. Be mindful of every moment, every breath. It's easy to try to get away from this through a thought pattern or focusing on the sensation. Just simply inhale, exhale. This too shall pass. Keep pushing those hips back. You're going to walk your elbows under your shoulders if you're leaning onto your forearms. If you can come down onto your chest, that's fine, but hips still push back. About halfway there. It's amazing how a 2-minute pose can seem like a 20-minute pose. About the last 30 seconds, push your hips further back. Maybe your knees can widen a little bit more. Feet are super active. Last few breaths. When you're ready to come out of this pose, there are different ways. You can tuck your toes and push into your big toe mounds. Walk your hands under your shoulders and slowly push back to kind of a wide-legged downward dog, or slither onto your belly and then make your way back to downward dog. This wide-legged downward dog feels really good. Press your fingers forward, lengthen your arms, pull your hips back. If you want one extra bonus vinyasa, you're welcome to take it here, and we'll meet back on our seat. You can practice that jump through again to seated. And we'll make our way down onto our back again, and this time for an inversion. So I'll give you some options for the inversion. If you want to go to a wall for this, you definitely can. So options would be Viparita Karani, and you can even put a block under your sacrum. Happy baby pose is also nice. You can support your lower back with your palms and kick your feet, knees, and hips over top for Halasana plow pose. Or maybe walk your hands up higher onto the spine for Sarvangasana shoulder stand. So let you decide. If you have Shirshasana A in your practice as well, you're welcome to go there, and I'll practice that with you. That's one of my favorite poses. And let's try to hold whichever pose you choose, and it can be a series of them. You're welcome to try a couple. Let's hold for 20 breaths. So that can be a pretty long hold. So if you need to come down, come down. Don't just turn around. You can still watch the time. Wherever you decide to be safe. Stay with your breath. Be mindful by counting every single breath. I'm about halfway there. Wherever you are, stick with it. Finish it off. 20 breaths total. If you've decided to come down, go slowly. Use your hands as brakes from shoulder stand through plow pose. If you've been in headstand, take your time to slowly come down. If you can pike down, go ahead. We'll take a few breaths either just seated with the head up or child pose, letting your blood pressure go back to normal in either of the options that you've taken. I myself, after headstand, like to keep my head elevated rather than the child pose. It feels a little bit better to me to have that open space, the crown of my head, but child pose is good too. And then we'll all make our way down onto our back for Matsyasana fish pose. Beautiful heart opening posture. So onto your back with your knees bent, you'll slide your palms underneath your seat, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart up. This might be enough for you. For some people, this is enough of a heart opener. If you'd like to try going further, deeper into the pose, extend your legs, point your toes, press down into the mat with your hands, your forearms, and your elbows so much that you leverage your whole torso up off the mat, including your head. Tilt the head back very gently, and then lower down just to the crown. So the heart is very elevated in this variation. You're welcome to stay here. Maybe you extend the legs forward. And some people like to release the hands and point up, push the palms into each other, point the fingers forward, kind of like we did at the beginning for the abdominal work. Try to hold here for a few deep breaths. Keeping the heart and throat open. You're ready to come down. Chin to chest, release your hands and legs. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale again and exhale. And we'll take one last twist here. One more option, a little bit deeper, bringing out of the spine. You're welcome to take that same twist again, both knees stacked. Or cross your left thigh over your right thigh. Stay right here, or try to hook your left toes underneath your right calf. You can cactus your arms. Shift your hips a little bit to the left side and then drop the knees to the right. And when I do this pose, my left shoulder does not immediately come down, especially if I have my toes tucked. So see what happens for you and see if you can allow that left shoulder to come down toward the mat. You can even extend your arm to make it a little easier, but the elbow bent, it kind of just hovers there in midair, and gravity and time will allow it to soften. You can look to the left, a twisted root or supine eagle twist, lots of names for this fancy twist. And most importantly, in the twist, we're wringing out any last bits of tension in the spine, all of the internal organs getting beautiful massage and release. Maybe the left shoulder is starting to soften. Mine is, for sure. And slowly bring your gaze back through center. Use your hands to unwind your legs, bring them back through center. A little happy baby pose here in the middle. Just to rock it out, and maybe extend one leg straight and the opposite knee. And then we'll go to the other side. This time right thigh crosses over left. Stay like this, or hook the toes like we do for Garudasana Eagle. Jog the hips a little bit to the right side. Cactus your arms. Let your knees fall to the left. Welcome to place your left hand over top of your legs. See, on this side, my right shoulder comes down much more easily. It's just, this yoga practice, it points out any little bits of imbalance or inequity in the body. I definitely have something going on with my left shoulder, my left leg, the left side thing. That's why we do this practice, to try to even it out, to try to smooth out any imbalances, try to find equanimity, not just in the breath, but through the whole body, between the mind, the body, and the heart, and the spirit, all smooth and even. It's through this practice, this mindful practice, that we keep coming back to a place of center, a place of balance. And slowly bring your gaze back through center. Use your hands for a little support to bring your knees back in. Unwind yourself, happy baby or Apanasana, knees to chest. Wrap yourself up nice and tight. Take a big breath in. Full breath out, forehead to knees. One more time, inhale. And as you exhale, like you're in slow motion, floating through thick honey, allow yourself to melt down into the sweetness of Shavasana. I'll read to you a beautiful quote from the Untethered Soul. When I started teaching these classes online just over a month ago, I was reading a lot from this book because it was just helping me understand the current situation that we're still in, but things have evolved. But this particular quote, very related to the idea of mindfulness, of staying present and in this center place. So this is from Michael A. Singer, The Untethered Soul. All the great teachings reveal the way of the center, the way of balance. Constantly look to see if that's where you are living, or if you are lost in the extremes. The extremes create their opposites. The wise avoid them. Find the balance in the center, and you will live in harmony. And how we get to that center place is by staying focused and mindful with the breath. The breath always brings us back to the center. So take one more deep breath in here. A full sigh out your mouth. Exhale. And enjoy every moment of your Shavasana state as long as you like. I'll see you next time on your mat, either virtually or if you practice later, and hopefully soon in person. Tomorrow night will be a 75-minute hatha practice at 5:30, and Friday evening and Sunday evening 7:15 yin, and Saturday morning 90-minute power. So please join me. I love that you're here with me, however it is that you join in, and feel free to watch all of these videos on YouTube shortly under my name, Tamara Maxim. Love you so much. Namaste.